All right, Gavin, tell us a little bit about where you are placed for your field placement.
Okay, I am placed at the Florence Fire Department with the EMS prevention services, and basically our purpose is to eliminate non-emergent 911 calls.
Okay, Sailor, tell us a little bit about where you are placed.
So I'm placed at Florence Lauderdale Public Library. It's our public library here in Florence, Alabama. I've been placed here, I was placed here at my undergrad last spring, and then I've stayed for my master's, and so I've been here for 2 semesters so far.
So what influenced you to be at this placement or to want to do your internship here?
Well, first of all, it's just really cool. Fire station, a firefighter, that's just like a little boy's dream, you know. But when they started telling me about the services, about 911 calls and how there's so many non-emergent calls of people just repeating problems, I just started to think about that population of people who are just not receiving help, and that really just stuck out to me.
Originally, I got into social work thinking I was going to go the clinical route, get into therapy and that kind of thing. But as I found out how diverse the opportunities were within social work, I found out a lot about community social work. And so I knew I wanted to find something in that aspect. And then when you and Dr. Berkowitz came to me and brought this opportunity forth, I was like, that would be a perfect fit for me.
What opportunities have you had in your internship to practice your social work skills? What are some specific examples of things you've been able to do at your internship?
So I've had a lot of home visits, and during those home visits there's like a time of assessment, and so that's been a big thing we learn in our social work classes. And then after the assessment, it's the time of getting them help, and the main thing I've been learning and growing in is being a broker. It's just finding resources and connecting people with resources and resources with other resources, you know, and it's just really broadened my knowledge of resources in Florence, and just how to just pick up the phone and get people in contact with each other. That's really the simple way of saying it.
I did a lot of work last semester specifically with patrons, so sitting down, working one-on-one. So that's where I feel like I got a lot of the interview skills, just the assessment skills that I was taught in class. Additionally, I learned a lot about the professionalism side of it, so all the preparation when it came from the professional side of it, I've been able to implement here in the library as well.
Talk to us a little bit about how you feel like your placement is positively impacting the library, and also how it is positively impacting the community.
One of the big things that I've seen talking with staff is how we've been able to fill the gaps that they've had at the library for a long time. Librarians do a lot of what social workers are taught, but they don't necessarily have the learning and the skills that we have. And so being able to come into the library and fill those needs has been super helpful for the staff, but also for the patrons. When it comes to the community, we've seen some really great testimonies come out of it, truthfully. We've helped to get people into housing. We've been able to help individuals get jobs. And we've also been able to strengthen the community with the library. So we've had a lot of community agencies, Home for Haven, which is great with our unhoused population. Safe Place, we've done some connecting with them since I've been able to come in. And so it's all been really good.
So one positive thing is the firefighters know they have a place to go now when they have a call like that's just a hard call, or they know that they're going and visiting these people and they're not getting help, and it kind of hurts the firefighters' heart. And now they know that they can come to me, and like more and more week after week I'll have a firefighter come in there and they're like giving me this story, and like you can see they really care about this person, and then I go and meet them, and like needs are met and problems are fixed, and it's just like it's becoming more of a normal thing as the firefighters are getting used to it. And hopefully the 911 calls are going down. I haven't done the statistics or anything yet, but hopefully the goal will be met. So I think the main thing is, at least for the fire department, I can't speak for everyone else, the community's needs are becoming more and more obvious, and starting to learn how to meet certain needs that services can't provide, and seeing where we need to focus our attention and our resources on. So I haven't had a huge opportunity to meet with tons of people, but the people we have met with, we have really been able to help. And so even if it's not a huge success yet, we have seen wins, you know, over these past few weeks, and that could easily grow into something affecting the whole community.
Okay, Sailor, talk to us a little bit about a couple of projects that you've worked on in your time at internship.
Yeah, one of the things that I have started is building and developing the teen program. So we're going to be doing a program that's targeted towards teens and their mental health, really doing a focus on just self-care, taking care of their well-being and things like that. So within that, the idea is to have an activity or something that they can actually take home to remember what they've learned, but also some type of educational piece to go with it, whether that be a video or an article that we read and go over, and it's just a way to really make a positive influence on their lives. So this is a resource guide that I made that the library had actually printed out for me. It started off as just a class project, which has now turned into something that the library wants to continue. And so what it is it's got a couple different things in it. We've got emergency services, mental health, physical health resources, unhoused and low-income resources, veteran services, and also just other generic sources. What's been great about these is we've been able to hand these out, not just in the library, but we have officers that have picked them up. So we have officers that stay at the library just for everyone's protection. And so we've had a couple of them actually pick them up, and when they're out, they are handing them out to the people that they're meeting. Another thing is we've got a couple of local coffee shops that have actually asked for these to be in there. And so it's been a great resource for not just us, but for the community in general. And it's something that the library wants to continue. So I'm in the process of updating it, reaching out to local organizations, seeing what changes they want made if they've currently got their stuff in there, but also adding in new agencies that weren't put in there in the first time.
Give us an example of a case that you have been involved with and how you have been able to work with that family.
One client that was really meaningful to me was an 80-year-old man who was partially crippled and has a hard time getting around. And some people in the community have just seen the need for him to have social services, and they recommended him. As we go out there, he just has so much, clutter and junk and stuff in his house that he just hasn't been able to clean because nobody's been able to clean it. And he doesn't make enough money on Social Security to hire a maid anymore, which he used to have. And his life is just kind of packed around him, and nobody's been there to help. And we got to go and visit him, and within a week we had 10 college students out there just cleaning everything, cleaned off his porch, went and cleaned out his kitchen. And I got to revisit with him just today, and he was telling me how thankful he was. And he's a hard old man, but he's saying like, wow, thank you guys so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. So that's been a really cool experience of just like having grassroots connection, not even using social services, just having people in the community willing to help people. And that's been a really special case for me.